Okay, I'm live. Welcome to episode 20 of the Grand Fridays. I'm your host, GrandZ. Shout out to everybody who watches this on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Shout out to everyone who hops on and off the live. Definitely appreciate it. It is 5 o'clock. I am off work. Hopefully you are too. Cheers to you. We're gonna get into got a new beat for this week. Few topics to talk about, and it's crazy out here again that we have to deal with race and police brutality and things of that nature. So I'm gonna try not to spend the whole episode about these things, and because it's the 20th episode, before I get into these topics or these beats, I just want to just kind of understand, like, for anybody who's new that's watching the show, who watched the show on Fridays, is that I literally started this, like, we're 20 episodes in. I probably started doing lives consistently probably about 22 weeks ago. So it just goes to show you, like, how long we've been in this pandemic, or, like, this has kind of been a new normal feel. Like, I've been home since the third week of March, and it's the last week of August. So it's crazy to think about just how much time has passed, along with just how the world is right now. And it just blows my mind that being able to just do this and, just having an idea to say, okay, I'm gonna get on live, I'm gonna play some beats and, kind of develop this show. So the fact that this is the 20th episode and that we in, I appreciate everybody who watches every week. I also appreciate people who hop on and off the live to see, what is this dude talking about? Is he talking about something? Is he not? Okay, he playing some beats. That's cool. Different takes on it. So I appreciate it. So racism. I'm gonna start there. I'm gonna start there, and I'm gonna start there early, because I really don't want to spend this. I don't want to spend the whole show speaking on these topics. You know what I mean? Like, this show is around music. It's around music. And but I feel like if I don't speak on these things, I mean, you don't care one way or another, but I feel like for me it's an obligation as African American to speak on some things. Like I said, I won't speak on the Jacob Blake part in particular, or breaking that down, because everybody knows what happened to Jacob Blake by this time. Just a quick recap. He's a black man, 29-year-old black man who lives in Kenosha, Wisconsin, who was allegedly breaking up a fight between two women, and Kenosha police came, broke it up, tried to break it up. They looked like they was harassing him. He was walking away. Allegedly, he had a knife in his car or on him. There were a couple of police. They shot him 7 times in the back. While his children were in the car, and while everyone's outside and the neighborhood is recording and things of that nature. So everybody knows what happened there. The police are still haven't been charged with anything. They are on administrative leave, just like any time a police does any type of act. They go on leave, and quote unquote investigation happens. So fast forward to 2 days, or I think it was a day or 2 day or two later, where people in Kenosha decide to do a protest. And in that protest, allegedly, you had irate people, as they should be, because it's another police brutality and situation where the police department is utilizing their power negatively against African Americans, and damn near killed another black person. So with that, they went and protest, and allegedly they were throwing rocks, water bottles, and certain things at the police. Also, who were out there with the police were white, what they call a right wing, a white supremacy is what they are, a militia, white supremacy group was out there allegedly protecting the police, is what they claim for this group to be. In this group, you had people of all ages, had white men. It looked like you also had not just white people in this group. So I don't want to just make it about the race yet in that part. But you had this group that was out there to quote unquote protect the police. So while these people are protesting and expressing their right as they can, I guess it got out of hand with the alleged throwing of the bottles and rocks and things of that nature. So the police start to shoot bullets, not real bullets, but the fake rubber bullets to kind of air out the place. So as the people are moving away, and of course they had set a curfew, so people are past the curfew. In the midst of this crowd, as they're marching away and moving away, here comes this white boy, and I'm using boy in the proper tense because he's not legally a man. So I just want to be clear. So this white boy who's 17 years old, young man, he's part of this white supremacy or right-wing militia. He has an AR-15. An AR-15 is a semi-automatic rifle gun where you really shouldn't have this gun unless you are, have been in the military or or a trained shooter. Not to say that, people, the rights are the rights when it comes to guns, but I mean, at 17, you shouldn't have this gun, right? So in the midst of the group that was protesting, this 17-year-old kid runs in that group and is starting to shoot at the group, shoot at people. So he's shooting at people, and what happens is that he hits a man. He hits someone. Let me not say that. He hits someone. He hit someone with a bullet, shot him in the stomach. People are yelling and saying that he just shot someone. So you got people that's trying to attend to the person who shot near this gas station that they are and shoots them. So then what happens next is that he continues to run down the street. He's running. And of course, the brave people who are protesting, they were members who's trying to go get him. Take him down. Like, hey, he got this weapon. He's shooting at people. He can do harm. So they're going to put their lives on the line to try to stop this young kid from killing anybody or harming anyone. And they get this kid on the ground. And what happens is that while this kid is on the ground, they don't get a chance to pin him down or take the weapon from him, but they do get him on the ground. But as he's sitting on the ground, he then starts opening fire. And what happens is he shoots someone dead in the head, and then he shoots another person. So he shoots two people, and then he points the gun at different people and points the gun at other scattered protesters. And then he gets up. At the end of this block, he continues to run for a second, but there are police tanks and police in their standard trucks driving towards the group of people down this street. And while the shooter, this young boy, white boy, is walking, he stops running and he starts to walk, puts his hands up where it's visible that he has this AR-15 around his neck. He walks right past the tanks, right past the cars. The police don't say anything to him. They walk past. and he pretty much gets to walk away. Now, there were other footage that showed that earlier that there were policemen who were shaking members of this militia hand, even this young boy, and giving them waters and thanking them for being a part of it, being there. So, like I said, the two people who got shot, 3 people got shot, but 2 people, unfortunately lost their life risking to save others. And it's unfortunate. And like I said, so just try to save people time from seeing all of this stuff on your timeline. I mean, I'm sure some of you've already probably seen it by now, but, I'll just say my piece on it. Like it really messed me up, and in my lifetime, I've either heard or seen or been close to people who have been murdered. So it never feels good or easy when that happens. But to visibly see it when these murders happen, and that we're capturing this stuff, it's like a gift and a curse, man. The gift of it is that the person who does, who's the shooter, who's the killer, we are able to, have visible evidence to try to retrieve information on who this person is, which will then not only bring street justice, but it also hopefully puts us in position of having, federal or, criminal justice. So it was really sad. Now, bring it back to Jacob Blake. It was really sad to see the Jacob Blake thing. Like I said, I mean, we've dealt with these killings a lot this year. We dealt with these killings a lot over the years, over the past centuries, rather, right? So I don't really want to dive into that because, like I said, I would spend a whole hour and a half specifically talking about the frustration it is of to continuously watch these things, or to just hop on my timeline for 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds. All it takes when you hop on here is 2 seconds to see things that you don't want to see, or just chaos. So that's pretty much what happened when I saw that video. But the gift is that even though it psychologically messes with you, the good thing about seeing these videos is that people, you have an opportunity to help them to not die in vain, or for things to not go unsolved, unheard. So I do understand, the people who not only record it, but the people who post it. But the 17-year-old white boy, I just think that it's crazy that somebody this young has that type of access to this gun, and that all these adults will allow this kid to have this gun. Now, I know that there's some people out there that they're big on guns. They big on guns. They, it's their right to bear arms and all that good stuff. I understand. But there needs to be some type of control and some type of real conversation about who is eligible to carry a gun. Now, let's leave that for a second and fast forward to the next day. So, of course, everybody's in outrage because the 17-year-old white boy has killed 2 protesters out there. And at the time, he wasn't arrested. No one He wasn't in custody. Nothing had happened to him. Hadn't been charged, none of that. So finally, in the middle of the day, they arrest this 17-year-old boy and allegedly charge him for murder. But then the crazy thing is that the chief of the police in Kenosha, and you can go Google this, I'm going to paraphrase it, but you can go Google this and go pull it up and listen. He said that if it wasn't for the protesters breaking the curfew, like they were out past curfew, the set curfew. If it wasn't for the protesters past this curfew, that wouldn't have happened. So again, taking all the onus off the young boy and his actions. Also taking responsibility off the police for allowing this young boy to have this weapon, and to highlight that there are protesters breaking a curfew law that you just put in place because the past 2 days there have been people in outrage expressing their outrage by protesting and chanting, not harming people, just protesting and chanting. So you put a curfew in place to try to control it. But then the chief states that he literally states that if it wasn't for protesters who were breaking the curfew law, then that wouldn't have happened. And the reality is, if the chief of police in Kenosha feels that way, like literally feels that way, then that should already let you know the psychological mindset of the police department of Kenosha. I've been to Kenosha a couple of times in my life. Of course, I went to school at Marquette. As you can see, I got the shirt on. I graduated and went to school at Marquette. And Kenosha is literally like about 45 minutes out, about 45 minutes out, 30, 45 minutes out. It's on the way. So I guess if you're in Illinois, if you pass Six Flags and you keep going for about 30, 45 minutes, you'll be around Kenosha. So for the police to say, if it wasn't for the protesters breaking the curfew law, then the 17-year-old boy wouldn't have had the opportunity to kill. Like I said, that should show you the mentality of the police department in Kenosha. But not only in Kenosha, it should show you the mentality of police departments worldwide, statewide, countrywide. Like, it should show you the mindset of police departments. So it should also show you the mindset of the cops that you see in the video of Jacob Blake and how, they handled themselves in that video. It should, like, if their boss or boss's boss is saying, hey, if it wasn't for the protesters who were breaking the curfew law, then this boy who has an AR-15 would not have been able to do this. That man did not take responsibility of what occurred. Number one, Wisconsin is a, concealed carry state. But the rule is you have to be 18 years old to carry, have a license to carry. You have to be 18. How old is this guy? 17. Is he 18? No, he's not. So he's already breaking a law by having this weapon. I don't care if it's a 22 or if it's an AR-15 or a machine gun. He cannot have any type of weapon. He damn near can't have a BB gun, let alone have a semi-automatic weapon. But he has this weapon. So that's already one thing that has not been said or mentioned at all in the reports. Number two, I mean, the fact that he has this gun and he's already breaking the law, and police are around and are in celebratory or ally, treating him and his people as allies, should already again show you the mentality of the police department out there. It show you that. It's just it's a clear sign to let you know where they are as people, like where their mindset is as people. Like, you can't be 17 years old with a gun in Chicago and in Illinois or Wisconsin. You cannot have a gun legally. It's against the law. You can't walk outside with it. It's illegal. So the boy was already illegal, but no one did anything. But it's the fault of the protesters. That's where, like I said, I didn't want to go too in depth in it. I kind of want to address like some entertainment stuff and play some beats around, you know what I'm saying, entertainment stuff around music and play some beats. But I just felt like I had to say something, or at least for any of those who watch this, just to think. I'm not here today to go on a rant. A couple episodes ago, I went on a rant on white people. I went on a rant on certain white people. I went on a rant of what the black plight is and what the black people need. I already said that, so I'm not gonna repeat myself. But if the chief makes this statement and also makes a statement that, you know, starting to compare, starting to bring out of nowhere that this guy allegedly has 10 baby mamas or 10 kids or whatever, and that those people need to be thrown into warehouses, you know what I'm saying, or jails and never be seen again, because that's, you know, that has nothing to do with that has nothing to do with, is it okay for policemen to you know, neutralize the threat in that manner when there's no danger, when there's no true danger. And that's, like I said, I wasn't there, but for what all the videos I've seen, from the Jacob Blake situation to the 70-year-old white boy running in the crowd, shooting people, and then listening and watching a video of the chief of police in Kenosha, it just should let people know, in Kenosha, it should let people know anywhere, like, this is the mindset. So when you're looking like, why, or I can't believe that these cops did this to this man, or where was their mind at, just watch the video. Go Google it. Go Google the chief of police of Kenosha Police Department, and you will hear exactly what I'm saying. This is what he said. Like I said, I'm not saying everything verbatim, but I am saying direct words that he stated about, if it wasn't for protesters breaking the curfew law, that wouldn't have happened. So he took all owner. He did not admit to any ownership of these police. That the reason why this protest happened is because your police officers shot and attempted to kill. I don't care what anybody say. Attempted to kill this man. Shot him 7 times, 2 feet away from him. That was the plan. The plan was to kill him, and by the grace of God, he survived. I don't care what his background is. I don't care what charges he got on the books. It ain't about that right now. It's about, in that moment, what was he doing? In the moment, what was Jacob doing? In that moment, he was actually doing good. He's actually doing good. He was being a father. He was being a good Samaritan by breaking up the fight. He was doing a whole bunch of good stuff that you're taught. You're taught in school to do. You're taught in church to do. You're taught wherever you have leaders on the rise of from kid to adult. You're taught to help people. You're taught to, if you see something, say something. You're taught all of these things. Be protectors. Be de-escalate situations. Like, all of these things are what you taught, no matter what institution you go to, from school to church to Boy Scouts, like Girl Scouts. Like, you're taught to how to function in society and be a asset to society. And the fact that there was no ownership from the police department is just unfortunate. I'm not surprised, because that is how any type of white murderer is projected through the media. Every article I read said either focus on the people who were injured or killed, or it painted the boy in the greatest light ever. One article I seen, somebody on my timeline post was like, Wisconsin inspiring cop kills, shoots a couple people or whatever, right? But it started out with Wisconsin scholar, inspiring cop. Inspiring policeman. Like, look at how they're describing this dude. Like, look how they describing him. You know what I mean? Like, they describing him in such a light, and then it took forever for them to even mention his name. I think his name is Cal something. I don't have the last name, but his first name is Cal. And it took forever for a name to be released. It took forever to find a true picture of this boy. But we had a 17-year-old boy who was walking home and on the phone talking to his friend, and had a bag of Skittles and an Arizona tea. Right? We had a boy that had this in his hand and some Skittles, and was killed by a grown white man who was harassing him, and got off murder. So, like I said, it's unfortunate, and I feel it just like everybody else. It's unfortunate that this is normalcy, but one thing that comes to mind, if to see change, I think that there are people that need to continue to voice their feelings and get it out. Get out your feelings. Like, let it all out. Let people know about your feelings. But there are also people that need to talk about assets and liabilities. Assets and liabilities. Fortunately or unfortunately, to the powers that be, we as black people are an asset. I know they like to look at us as a liability or utilize us as a marketing tool, and killing us is as a marketing tool. But the reality is we are assets. Killing us off or pissing us off is a liability. I know you may not see that because for 300, 400 years, you know what I mean? It's been, where control, it's been there. But the reality is we are assets to this country. We're assets to the powers that be. Continue to do this stuff to us, and you will see that you will lose your asset, and then there will be a lot of liabilities. I'll leave it at that. So thanks for everybody who's hopping on and off the live. This is Grand Fridays, episode 20. I'm excited that it's 20 episodes. That I'm 20 episodes in. Appreciate it. Like I said, it's quarantine. I done grew my hair out. My hair is long. Got a hat on. Grew out my facial hair and stuff like that. I ain't cutting it. I got a reason behind it. I'll share that when in due time why I've been looking this rough and everything. Is for a good reason, and I explain on one of these weeks, right? But wanted to get into actually some matter of fact, you know what? I'm play some music first, and then we'll get into some topics. How about that? I got a new beat, so I have been busy, so I haven't really made beats because I've been doing so much other things, right? Like from work to my businesses to to just other life things, right? So I did get a chance to hop back into the Time to Flip challenge, which is on Instagram, hosted by the Ample Samples. So that's at the Ample Samples, and they host the Time to Flip beat. So this week it was to flip Atlantic Star, Send For Me. It's a classic song. If you look that up on any digital platform, streaming platform, or on YouTube, you can definitely listen to this record, to the original record, and when you hear it, you would know it. But so I made this beat for the challenge. So I'm just gonna play it. Let me know what you think. It's GrandZ Fridays, new beat. All right. So that was my new beat of the week. It was a flip sample of Atlantic Star's Send For Me song. I had fun actually flipping that one. I felt like I channeled old Kanye. And I'll be honest, when I'm part of these sample challenge, and a lot of other producers, when they make these beats, they really make the hip hop sounding beats. You know what I mean? And when I mean by that, I mean like the boom bap. It's a lot of swing on it that got like a certain bounce to it. And I said this before and I'll say it again. I'm just not a fan of that sound. So, I used a little swing on it because, to give it a certain feel, to give it a certain bounce on the drums. But then I had to put me on it, and which was slowing it down. So that second verse, I slowed it down, and I thought that, that was fire, just going in and out of, this speed to, it's the same tempo, but just being able to slow it down, double time it. And, yeah, man, I had a ball of working on that beat, and then playing melodies around that sample. So just trying to give it similar melodies to the sample to just highlight and bring out the sound of the actual sample, and just mixing and just making it sound, giving it like a nice texture on the beat. So, yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm actually gonna post that beat, the video for that beat, after this show. So, listen to it, like it, appreciate it. Also, this is a moment to, two shameless plugs, and we can move on into the topic where I'm gonna talk about Master P and C Murder and Monica, Kim Kardashian, all that good stuff. You can like and subscribe, GrandZ Insert Greatness Here YouTube page. You can also on Facebook like and follow the Life of GrandZ page on Facebook, where I post all type of content on there, where you'll hear beats, you'll see video, you'll hear beats on that page. You will see all the episodes of Grand Friday, so all 20 episodes are there. You'll also see episode 1 and 2 of my new show, GrandZ Top 5, which airs on Tuesdays in the IG stories of my IG page at GrandZ32 and my backup page at GrandZ32_music. And then it also airs on Facebook stories. So if you go to my Facebook story on Tuesdays, you can watch the GrandZ Top 5. I mean, the show has been about 12 minutes long. I appreciate everybody who watches all the way through. I like to see also people who watch it, watch a couple minutes, fall off, come back in the middle of the day, watch the rest, or people who tune in. So I appreciate all the different looks who watch the GrandZ Top 5. This week episode was paying homage to Kobe Bryant, and so I talked about my top 5 greatest NBA players of all time. So you can definitely watch that. I'm going to post tomorrow morning in its entirety. So if you want to watch it, there'll be the YouTube link on my Facebook page where you can watch it in its entirety, the whole 12 minutes and 19 seconds, not chopped up like it is on Tuesdays. You can watch it all the way through, or you can go to any of my Instagram pages that I mentioned and watch it on IGTV in its entirety. And that will all be available tomorrow to watch. So please watch, share, like. So let's get into this Master P, C Murder, Monica, and Kim Kardashian. That's like the most random group of people ever, on the surface, especially if you don't know much about these people, or even if you know a little bit, you still like, Like, I would have never expect all of these people to be connected, and definitely all of these people having some type of issue or problem in some form or fashion. So just to give you a synopsis of what happened is C Murder is a rapper who's currently incarcerated for a murder that took place back in, I believe, 2004 or 2002, something like that. Corey Miller is his real name. He is the younger brother of Master P. Master P, Percy Miller. He is a rapper, entrepreneur, business mogul. You know, I'm going to put some respect on his name. He founded and created No Limit Records, which sold, you know, platinum, millions and millions of dollars, and had platinum albums. He's the first person to ever receive this type of distribution deal with a record label, with a top record label, where it was an 80-20 split. At first his was 85-15, and then because of certain distribution and things that he wanted to do, it was an 80-20 split. And it was the first contract to ever be that. He's the first record deal for an African American to ever happen. So that's Master P. And fast forward, you know, to putting out movies, trying to be in the NBA, to now Rap Snacks. He's co-owner of Rap Snacks, along with you know, now he's trying to take over Aunt Your Mama and all the good stuff. So that's Master P, for anybody who don't know Master P, right? So Master P and C Murder, they're brothers. They're from New Orleans. So back almost 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, 18 years ago, C Murder was at a club in Louisiana with him and his guys. They get into it with this rapper who allegedly just got off stage, and they got into it with this rapper, and this rapper gets killed. This young rapper gets killed. Everyone said that C Murder was the killer, and C Murder went to jail. He went to jail. Has been in jail the whole time for the last 18, 20 years. And there were some things about his case that just wasn't on the up and up. So I guess when the jury voted 10-2, so it was 12 people on the jury. It was 10-2 a vote that he was guilty. And the law had changed maybe back in 2014, I believe. The law changed where you needed the jury to unanimously vote guilty or not guilty for someone, but it wasn't retroactive. So that's why he's still currently in jail, along with other eyewitnesses who were there at the club, who have written statements and testimonies, and physically testified and said that he did it, but it recant. You know, that person recant their statement. And you can watch all this too on the BET documentary that aired all last month, which was the No Limit Chronicles. You learn about Master P and the origin of his story, the rise and fall of No Limit Records to what he's doing now. And you also learn about C Murder rise and fall as well in that process. But he's been in jail the whole time. But now Kim Kardashian has been becoming more of an activist and has went back to studying law. So she's been helping getting African American males who are wrongfully imprisoned to get them out. So, you know, kudos to Kim Kardashian for doing that. You know, utilizing her celebrity or platform and intelligence for good. I can't knock that, and I won't knock that right now. But so she's trying to help to get C Murder out, and allegedly she got connected with C Murder through Lala. It's crazy, right? It's a crazy story already. Through Lala, which is one of her close friends, best friends, and Lala's really close with Monica the singer. Monica was dating C Murder back in the day, back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So long story less long. So Monica, had been trying to help get C Murder out. So she's been advocating for justice and for them to review the case again and all that good stuff, along with Kim Kardashian. And something that C Murder said, which triggered Master P, now bringing it back to Master P, is that C Murder went on a Twitter rant. So I guess in jail, they have, which I know it to be true, but just to let you all know that they have access to social media. So C Murder has a Twitter account, and don't know if he wrote it or not, but allegedly he wrote it, where he pretty much thanks Kim Kardashian for being his angel and helping, and thanking Monica for being down, his down chick, all this good stuff, and saying some bad things about his grandparents and parents and people not being loyal and holding him down. And that made Master P irate. So it made Master P come out and say, I'm done. I'm cutting people off. I ain't giving no more bread. No more money to family because they ungrateful. Right? That was Master P's statement. Also, statement was like, okay, I don't know Monica, but you saying that she been down for you. She been divorced from Shannon Brown for, about like half a year, almost a year, right? But what about us who've been around all this time and stuff like that? And you call them down. That's cool. I have no problem with that. But I've been here and I'm done now. I'm not coming to the jail. I'm not putting nothing on your books. I'm not doing anything. So that was Master P's statement to all of that. Of course, Monica was like, you don't know me. Hold on. Like, I've been there. I talked to him over the years. He's talked to me. He's talked to my mama. Like, we've been in contact. So don't act like, don't come at me like that. So that's the scenario. I wanted to give you the scenario. How do I feel about that? Family is really the topic here. It's like, when are you doing enough? Is there ever enough? Is there ever enough between you and family and money? I'll say this. I think family could be your blood. Family could be friends who are close to you like blood. You know what I'm saying? It could be whomever you deem as family, right? I think sometimes people take your kindness for weakness. I think Master P had a point. And this is where I agree with Master P. I've experienced where I've had friends in the past who were ungrateful. And everything I did was out the kindness of my heart and to help. You know what I'm saying? To literally help. Like, I was winning and I was benefiting. So it wasn't necessary for me to do it. But because I care about them, you know what I'm saying? And if we say we boys or we brothers, you make sure that your brother, if they truly down and they truly need it, you help them. And it don't matter how much it is, you help them. So, and if you can't help them with money, you help them with time, you help them with action. Like, these are the different things that you can do. And, I've been in those scenarios before where, I've gotten a close friend of mine before a job that paid. I let him sleep on my couch. And because he needed it, not because I was in position to put him on. So, and he needed it. So, but in the midst of it all, he felt like I was, behaving a certain way or selfish. So I can understand being taken aback by, like, damn, I'm selfish, or damn, I'm at fault when I just took care of it. I mean, I just tried to take care of you, and I ain't want nothing in return. Like, you ain't got to pay for nothing. I'm paying for this stuff. I'm doing this. I'm using my time. I'm using my energy. I'm using all of my efforts to help you, because I believe in you and I believe in the scenario. So I understood where Master P was coming from because I've had that experience. And sometimes you got to cut people off. You gotta, distance yourself. You can still care and love people, but it's not meant for y'all to be in each other's lives at the moment or ever again. And you can have no ill will towards each other, or you can have no ill will, I should say, and still go on to live your life. And like I said, I know that firsthand. I know that from a friend perspective, and even on a small scale in a family perspective, to experience something where it's like, yo, you offer something to your close, to someone close, and then they run with it. So if you give an inch, they take a mile. That saying, right? I've had that happen before. Where it's just like you taking a bat, you taking off guard, and now in the moment you got to make decisions that you truly don't want to make, but you also, want to, you also don't want to, cause a scene in the moment. So, but after the fact, like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm kind of like, I'm not dealing with this no more. It's too much to lose, or it's too much an unknown with you, where my stuff is together. So that's pretty much what I've experienced. So with Master P, I understood. But even though allegedly, even though this was publicized, and because they are celebrities, I think this is the context on why he addressing things. I still feel like on the flip side of it, when it's family, especially like your brother, I think that whatever issues that you all may have, I think you still find a way to address it privately than publicly. Because even if you're right, you're still wrong in the eyes of the public. You know what I mean? So if you got a problem with your family member, or anybody, right? You got a problem with your spouse, you got a problem with your significant other, you got a problem with your friends, you got a problem, with anybody. When you address it publicly, and I guess your goal is to fix it, then you kind of create a bigger wedge between y'all, and in some cases to a point where you can't come back from it. So that was the only thing knock to me about Master P and the C Murder thing. Like Master P said, you don't know if C Murder really wrote this or not. But hey, whoever wrote this feel this way. So if he didn't write it, maybe he told somebody to write it. You know what I mean? But I'm a ride with Master P on this one, not because he's the one that's free, not because he's Master P and this C Murder. It's because of the fact that I'm not gonna, if I'm one of the new pillars of the family, and you are discrediting and disrespecting the matriarchs and patriarchs of the family, somebody got to step up and say something and address it. Even if it is putting our business out in the street, I think it needs to be addressed. And since you want to show your ass in public, I'm going to do the same just so that you can understand where I stand. And like I said, that's not the best way to handle it, but sometimes you got to meet people where they at. And you got to show them, like, hey, if you want to be stupid, then I can dumb down a little bit just to show you what it is. And that's how I took the Master P situation. I just think that with Master P, I feel him. Like sometimes you gotta distance yourself from people. And people will call you all type of names. People will front on you. People will try to bash you, down your name, work with other enemies, or convince other people that you are the problem, that you are a bad guy, and that the reason why y'all not cool with each other is because of the things that you haven't done for them, or the things that they done for you, and you're the ungrateful one. But they forget in their darkest times who was there, who was truly there. So I get that. And on the other side of it, I also get the fact that, like I said, you're not gonna disrespect our parent or grandparents. Even if what I'm saying, even if you have some valid points. Like, nah, that's something you say behind the scene, or you say that directly to people. You don't go out here and have somebody or you write this. I can understand your frustration and you being in jail and things of that nature, but like, what would you like? What would you like us to do? Would you like us to all go broke to help you get out of jail, so then we all broke and have to figure it out, or would you like us to continue to, slowly but surely help you in the process to get you out? And some things are out of our hands, and that's something too that from the outside looking in, who's viewing this situations, like some things I'm sure is out of Master P's hands. It's out of his hands. Like, I get it. He's a multi-millionaire who has generated a lot of money, but that don't mean he still got that money. It doesn't mean that he is generating as much money as he was then, as much money he is now. And if you're paying for this lifestyle and all this stuff like that, along with supporting other people in their lifestyles or dreams or situations, it can run you dry. And like I said, if you have a budget, if you have a certain budget, but your expenses are too high, like, what I'm saying, it becomes again about assets and liabilities. Like sometimes unfortunately, you gotta look at family, you gotta look at friends, you gotta look at people that's in your life that, can, and sometimes the harsh reality is that you gotta treat people like assets and liabilities at sometimes, especially when it's putting emotional, physical, spiritual, financial stress on you. So with Master P, I got it. I understood that. And, that's what he was saying. Even though he probably should have did behind the scenes, but hey, I mean, it was addressed publicly, and as a public figure trying to move around, and that's everybody's talking about. I understood it. So I'm with Master P on that. Shout out to Kim Kardashian for trying to help. Hopefully they can get C Murder out of jail, because based on what the current law is, if they need a unanimous vote to convict you, that, then hey, do a retrial. The man who said it numerous times that C Murder was the shooter has now come out and said that he wasn't the shooter, that he was pressured and he was scared of the police. He said that numerous times over the years. He even recently said that on the No Limit Chronicles. So, I mean, I don't know what else you want. What else needs to happen, but at the end of the day, they need to think about letting C Murder out and let him get back to his kids, let him get back to his life. He's missed, 18, 20 years already, and not to say that, that should trump the life loss of a young boy at the time, because he was underage in that club performing, based on the story told in the No Limit Chronicles. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that he lost his life, but if the wrong person is in jail and has done this time, that's unfortunate. Same thing goes for Mac, who's on No Limit as well. Allegedly, he was accused of a murder that he didn't do either, and he's been in jail the same amount of time. So if these brothers didn't do those murders and people know that for sure, and they just was complying for other reasons, then, I think it's time, I think if laws change, I think it's time to review, retrial, and let them out. Especially, let them out. Especially if they, if or can't prove that they committed the crime. So, all right, so we coming up on an hour into the Grand Fridays, episode 20. episode 20 of the Grand Fridays. I am GrandZ. I appreciate everybody who hops on and off the live. Appreciate everybody who watches this on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Like I said, every week I normally get out of here in an hour and a half. So may get out here a little bit early today. Who knows? But I think I want to play a beat right now, man. I think I want to play a beat. So I will replay the beat of the week, the new beat of the week that I played earlier for the Time to Flip challenge. I will play that beat, but I feel like playing another beat. Matter of fact, I played last week's beat. Last week's beat, the new beat last week was this R&B beat that I made. I'm gonna play that just so for those who missed last week, you can go ahead and check this R&B beat out and let me know what you think. So that was new R&B beat I made last week. It is up on my SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/status32. It's also up on my BeatStars page, beatstars.com/GrandZ. You can also see that on Life of GrandZ Facebook page. Like and follow. You can also hear that on my Instagram page at GrandZ32. You can also hear that at my YouTube page. So if you're watching it on YouTube, you can, click the playlist, R&B playlist, and listen to all the R&B beats I got posted up right now. Or you can go to GrandZ Insert Greatness here and listen to all of my beats that I got posted, hip hop and R&B beats. So yeah, I played that beat last week. As the new beat of the week. Thought I would share that with you all who new to the show, new to watching it live and all that good stuff. So, and I just think it's fire. Man. I be vibing, man. I listen to a lot of R&B now, so I be really vibing on these R&B beats. It allows me to be more creative than the hip hop beats. The hip hop beats is a certain sound right now. R&B, even though the drums may be similar to hip hop right now, the current hip hop, but the melodies is still a little more broad than it is for rap. So rap and hip hop music. So excuse me. So last topic. My last topic of today is Apple. So Apple versus BeatStars, Apple versus everybody and their mama, everybody, right? So in the news, Apple has been getting sued left and right from companies or things such as Fortnite. So for those who know what Fortnite is a video game that every kid in the world plays or has played, and even adults as well, where this game allows you to be interesting characters. And I don't know all the rest of it, but I do know the fact that in this game they have all the latest dance moves, and you can buy it. So what's been really popular in every game that you can think of today is buying a game for X amount of dollars, but then buying stuff within the game. And that's been like the secret way that video game companies and creators of games have been making a boatload of money, because my character probably does this generic thing, and then but if I pay $5 here, $10 here, $100 extra to get all this different stuff, I'm gonna have the greatest character to ever live in this game. And they just keep adding stuff every update that the game has. So Apple's been getting sued by Fortnite. Apple's been getting sued by companies such as there's companies like Spotify and BeatStars. Shout out to BeatStars. They are in a lawsuit too when it comes to Apple. And the lawsuit speaking, these companies are pretty much frustrated with Apple because Apple is requesting 30% of their profits. So that's just it. That's just it. Apple is saying that, hey, while you're on our platform, meaning the App Store. So if you have an app in the App Store, Apple wants in. Apple wants 30%. So anybody who's tried to create apps, I've created apps and tried to create apps and things of that nature. Along with, if you are an artist, if you're an aspiring artist or artist, and you've ever put music on Apple, or even in Google Play, if you ever done that, you know that you are agreeing to 30% off top. So to do it in layman's terms, when it comes to music, if I post a song on Apple Music for 99 cents or for $1.29, right? Apple gets 30 cents. You know what I'm saying? Apple's gonna get 30 cents. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So for that 99 cent or that dollar that I'm charging for this song, Apple will get 30 cents. Every time that song sells, Apple will get 30% of that record. And that's what they do. They do that with music. They do that with all the apps. And it's written clear as day. So before you even put it on the App Store, and the same thing, whoever owns Google Play. I think Samsung may own Google Play, but I'm not sure because I don't have Android. But that's off top, 30%. So when you think of people like, when you think of games like Candy Crush, when you think of Fortnite, they, like I just explained, they got things built into the game. So it's like you Madden. I can use Madden for a prime example. Like NFL Madden 21 just came out. Everybody went and bought Madden, right? Your husband, your boyfriend, or whatever, if you're a lady who's watching it, plays NBA 2K1. You buy the game for $60, which is already a lot, right? You buy the game for $60, but $60 only give you about 50 to 60% of what the game can truly do. So then you buy tokens to buy extra stuff that they built for the game, but they block it off to you until you spend more money. And the other thing about this scheme is the fact that once you buy and spend all this money in this game, it's not transferable. So when they come out with the next game or the next version, you can't use it. So for me, I don't buy them as often anymore. I don't even play my system as much at this point in life. But just to give you an idea of how it works, right? So like you pretty much pay $60, or they have different versions of the game where you can pay $90 and stuff like that. And you just get more stuff that's built in the game. And this is how they make money. So Apple is like, I don't care what you do. You can build everything in the world. You can actually sell it for $500 or $1. You know our agreement. If you are in the App Store, run me 30%. Run that. So I can see both sides of it. And I ain't saying that because I utilize both products, like BeatStars to sell my beats, sell and lease my beats. I use BeatStars. I use Apple because I'm just a loyal fan of Apple. My phone is an Apple where I'm doing this live from. My computer that I utilize to make beats is an Apple, is a MacBook. You know what I mean? I just love Apple products and the simplicity of it. But I can see both sides. Apple is saying like, hey, this has always been there. This hasn't changed. This has been here way before Fortnite even existed. So when I say 30%, run me 30%. No one said have in-app purchases. That was your choice, and we don't stop you from doing that. That's your choice. So cool. That's their choice. You want to build it out and make more money? No problem. Make as much money as you would like. But just know, for all profits, I'm gonna need 30%. So I understand Apple's side of it. And from Apple's side is like, so you want to create these subscriptions off our site, but use our site to sell the product. And it's like, whoa. So you trying to cut us out or give us a little piece of the deal, but work a side deal? No. And that's essentially what's happening, is that Apple being the space, the platform with their app store allows creators to create a product and sell it and have a marketplace so that people can utilize this product on their platform, either their phone, their iPad, or whatever. Same thing when it comes to Android. Like you got Google Play on your tablets or your phones. They allow creators to create an app to make it there so people can buy it, purchase it, and utilize it, right? That's cool. But they like, there's a certain percentage to be here. And everybody's usually cool at first, right? Everybody's usually cool at first. But once your product takes off, you're like, okay, 30% gets a little steep. You know what I mean? So if it's $1 million, if it's $1 million sold, $1 million, let's keep it in song, right? If I sell 1 million songs, right, for $1, I only got 70. I got 700,000. While I just paid Apple 300,000, and it's like I pretty much paid you 300,000 just to be on your platform. Like, is it worth that much? And it's relative. Like I'll say for me, it's worth it, because like at the end of the day, nobody would have known how to, like, I didn't have a market. It wasn't a marketplace, and I didn't have enough brand or big enough to where people knew me. So if people don't know me, like, how can I expect like to have 100%? Or if I use somebody else's platform, it's like I'm utilizing your platform. Like, how can I be mad that you get a percentage, and then once my stuff take off and I'm still utilizing your platform, that I still got to cut you in on a percentage? Like, I can't be mad at that. You know what I mean? I can't be mad. But on the flip side, so Fortnite, we use Fortnite because I already talked about that game, right? Fortnite took their game off Apple, off the App Store, and the reason why is because they felt like there's no reason why you should make money off of the additional stuff. Our agreement is 30%. So if we're selling, like I said, let's use the music, right? If the music is if the music is for $1 and we made $1 million, right? We're okay giving the 300,000 to you and keeping the 700,000. The problem is that once this song is, like, it's kind of hard to use a song now in this analogy, but anyway, like, now if we do other things built around the song, then it's kind of like you think you deserve you think you deserve 30%, include that additional funding or additional thing that we created that's outside of the scope of the original deal. You think that we should have to pay you for that? In my opinion, I would say yes. If I'm Apple, which is what they're saying, and just from a logical and a business standpoint, I would say yes too. Yeah, you got to pay me. You got to pay me, fam. You got to pay me. And the reason why you got to pay me is strictly because I don't care what you do as a company. You run your own company. You doing whatever you want. But if you want my platform and you want people to be able to have an easy access to your game and to be on my platform, not only my platform, the App Store, but my platform, the phone or the tablet, then you have to pay. You have to pay 30% of all profits, because this is all happening on my platform. I don't care that this is an app, and the app part is what you think the 30% is on. No, the entire app, regardless on in-app purchases. So that's what's happening out in the world when it comes to these companies and Apple and other platform, and even in Google Play. That's what's happening on these platforms. There are companies that are trying to take their products off of Apple because they don't want to pay that. They don't want to pay now. They don't want to pay 30% on everything that they're including in their products. And if I'm Apple, I'm like, okay, well, don't be on my platform. I know that this is the hottest thing out and that this thing is a gold mine, but at some point there will be others. And for every fortnight, there's another young or person that creates the app that you may not know what this app is, but this is an app that they're selling for $1. And I've seen this for real. I've seen this. I've seen a 13-year-old white kid create an app. He created a math app. It was a video game, but it was a math app, and he sold it for free. He sold it for free, and they did an article in the news, like it was like Entertainment Tonight. It was like some big show like that. Did a little piece on him, a five-minute piece on him, and was like, if he would have sold this app for 99 cents, he would have made $1.5 million. So he had 1.5 million downloads. So let's just be clear. This little 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy, he created the app when he was 12, and at 13, he had 1.5 people who downloaded. but the app was free. So if he would have just sold that app, he just would have sold that app for 99 cents, the minimum of what you can sell in the app store, 99 cents. He would have had $1.5 million. You know what I'm saying? Or take away the 30%. But still, $700,000 at 13 years old for creating a simple math fun app. You know what I'm saying? That's just phenomenal. So just seeing that, just you know, so for every Fortnite who creates an app that everybody loves and it takes off, and then they create all this extra stuff to it, there's plenty of kids that are doing what I just described, creating a simple app. And because of the simplicity or the, you know, or the demand of the topic in which the app is, it exists, then they're going to, you know, Apple's making 30% off it. So that's why I'm like, if I'm Apple, I'm like, yo, I need that 30%. If I don't get it, that's going to be a problem. But moving forward, take your program, take your app. It is what it is. For every Fortnite, there'll be another Fortnite. We'll be around to see it. For a Fortnite perspective, I understand that too. Like, look, man, I appreciate being on your platform, but now I'm popping and I don't need this platform anymore. And we created so much other things that we've really outgrown just the simplicity of a traditional app. We're more of a video game now. So, and that's what they did. They took their game off of that platform, and now it's web based and you know, and different deals with different social media. So like you go to Twitch, you can go to different places and play this game, and you know, to where now they make billions of dollars off this game. And I understand when you make billions of dollars and you got to pay out people millions of dollars. I understand. I mean, I've never seen that type of money, so I can't understand from that magnitude. But I can understand if I got $1,000 and I got to pay out $300, depending on who I'm paying out. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If it's $1 million, if I touch $1 million and I got to get 300,000 up, whoever I'm paying, you know, that I'm not willing, that you know, that I don't willingly give the money to, then I may feel tight. So I understand the frustrations on both sides, but I'm gonna just pay attention to it and see what happens, because it's gonna be very interesting to see how the outcome turns for BeatStars, especially because a couple episodes ago I talked about how they have become the #1 marketplace for producers. So from aspiring producers to producers who have you know, made a name for themselves, sold records, platinum selling producers. You know, and not only is it just a marketplace for beats, it has now become a marketplace for artists in general. So not just producers, but for artists, to songwriters, artists to post their songs. You can purchase songs there. People sell their beat kits. So if you want to buy different kits to make beats, sound kits, you can buy it from there. Like, it's a whole store, music store, in a sense, similar to like Apple Music, of just inspiring artists. And now like I said, they've grown into not only that, to having a publishing deal with Sony ATV, which is the biggest music publishing company in the world. So they are a conglomerate now. You know what I mean? They do way more than just be a marketplace store. So that's why BeatStars is frustrated. Like, hold on, you want us to pay you 30% off our publishing deals that we do, to all of the sales that happen on this platform, to also everybody who just download the app and just, you know, download the app. No, like this app is free. We don't make money off the actual app. We make money off the purchases that happens within our app or within our web page and stuff like that. So we don't make money we don't make money by the physical app that was created. And that's the argument that, BeatStars, Fortnite, all these companies got. They got the argument, the fact that like we give away this app for free. Like Apple doesn't make any money because this app is free. Like we don't make money off this app. Like it costs nothing for them to hit the download button. Like we create the app, we upload it to the App Store. Apple approves it, and now we can have this app in the App Store. People can download it, but we make no money off the user going into their phone, hitting the download button. We make all our money by users being users and going to the store and buying product, virtual product. So it's gonna be real interesting. All right, so it's an hour and 25 minutes, so got a little less than 5 minutes left in this show. Just appreciate everybody who tuned in this week on Grand Friday's episode 20. Like I said, I didn't want to spend the whole time focusing on police brutality and racism, but I definitely had to share my piece. So my thoughts, prayers is with Jacob Blake and his family and everybody who was affected by that moment. My thoughts and prayers is with the people who were lost and their family, and the protests. I'm happy that they arrested the 17-year-old kid. I hope that he is tried as an adult, since he wanted to do adult things and break the law himself. Because our black children get charged all the time, and as an adult for things that are are juvenile. Like I remember like 15 years ago, you know what I'm saying? We can go back to like 2005, right? Where it was in Florida, where a 13-year-old boy was babysitting his neighbor. It was a girl. He was babysitting his neighbor, and he did a wrestling move on the girl. And I believe he killed her. He either killed her or broke her neck. I think he killed her. I think he did a wrestling move on her, and it went bad, and she died. And he was charged for murder. He was charged as an adult, and he had to go to adult jail. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he's still doing time or not, but more than likely he probably is still doing time, because it's only been 15 years. I think he got 25 years to life. So yeah. So that was a 13-year-old boy. That was a 13-year-old black boy, doing a wrestling move, and it goes wrong. She dies, and he gets charged as an adult, where, there's a 17-year-old boy with an AR-15 walking the streets, running around shooting people. So I just feel like it's a double standard, and we need to get rid of that. So that's why I stand on that. Man, feel good about this. I feel good about this week. Like I said, tomorrow, dropping GrandZ Top 5 in its entirety, so you can watch it. This week episode was about my top 5 greatest NBA players. You can also watch the first episode, which dropped last week, which was about my 5 top rappers of all time. You can watch it on YouTube, and you can watch it on IGTV. This Tuesday, the third episode of GrandZ Top 5 will premiere, and I'm talking about how to save $10,000. How to get $10,000. What's the fastest way to save and get $10,000? It's no cap. I ain't giving you no pyramid scheme. I ain't telling you that I will tell you 200 can get you $12,000, but I'm gonna show you how to truly get that on Tuesday on GrandZ top 5. That's the 5 best ways to save and get you $10,000, $15,000, whatever amount that you trying to get. I'm gonna give you the 5 best ways to do it, and these are all the things that I've done to do it. So like, this is no cap, this is real. So Tuesday, GrandZ top 5. That's what the episode is about. So yeah, like and share this video with anybody and everybody. So while to play us out, I'm gonna replay the new beat of the week, and see y'all next week. I hope, and be safe. Corona is still real, and yeah, love. It's by the beat. I'm out.